Fala galera, beleza? Meu nome é Nathan e hoje vamos para mais um vídeo da nossa série de Biomutant aqui no canal. Lembrando que se você está curtindo a série, não esqueça de deixar o seu like aí para a série continuar, para o YouTube continuar divulgando o canal, para dar aquela forcinha. E além de compartilhar com os amigos aí que gostam de RPGs e etc. Agora fiquem com o vídeo. Boa!
Bomber bonkers busy ram banging the door. This is your chance.
Boa. Porra. O cara saiu voando com o foguete. Boa. Mais um aqui. Já elfs. Meu Deus. Explodiu. Tá mexendo no foguete. Ai, meu Deus. Achei que era amigo. Achei que era o cara já. Aí foi um combo bonito. Passamos de nível? Não. Interagir. Ih, rapaz. Aterrize o foguete.
Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth.
Boa.
Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end. In flames. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. He hopes you remember that one time he taught you to upcycle, and hopes you've had some use for it over the years. Gizmo says he also has re-memories from the long gone, but unlike you, he doesn't think of the past, for it's gone. He understands history made Loop-a-Loopin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo encourages that. You should forgive, but never forget. It'll provide some comfort to your soul and keep the memory of lost loved ones in your heart.
Fan that flame!
Elemento foguete, estou indo.
Wait, no! Bright light blinds! It's dangerous!
I've got all the cold sick burns you need, Dark.
Oh, do you have to insult me over this?
I don't have to, but I want to.
Would like to know if you ever doubt the choices you made on the path that brought you to this point. Would you have been happier going in a different direction? Supposes that's all any of us can do. Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just seemed impossible till now. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seemed so centered and so seeking. Thinks that's more than most are. It's hard to keep to a path like that. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. you need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone, so you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. It's the part of the land that suffered most from the apocalypse. It's deprived of oxygen, making it next to impossible for anything but creatures that were most contorted by the contamination.
Tá bom. Nossa aura de luz mediana saiu ao Dark dali. Desbrave a zona morta. Bora lá. Bom dia, Gizmo. Importando. Tá, consigo vir pra cá? Tem oxigênio aqui? Tem. Mais ou menos.
Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives.
Ih, rapaz.
That's the leftover you're looking for.
Boa. E realmente falta oxigênio. Mas tem uns tanques de oxigênio aqui. É um hospital, pelo jeito. Tá. Dá pra subir ali. Aqui falta oxigênio. Vamos lá. Ah, você encontrou um ponto de escalada. Use os controles de movimento para ir à próxima plataforma. Tá. Very easy. Nada por aqui. Opa, aqui parece ter alguma coisa. Uma máscara. Máscara de filtragem dupla. É melhor do que a que eu tô usando. Vamos equipar. Para. Nada por aqui. Vamos lá. Opa! Tem alguns caminhos pra gente seguir. Um deles é aqui. Não parece ser um bom caminho, não. Opa, ainda mais pra ficar preso. Ai, vamos lá! Não sei se vai dar tempo de chegar. Ah, boa. Você encontrou uma caixa de peças do Mekton. Essas caixas podem ser encontradas em todo lugar quando tem peças para personalizar o Mekton. Fundômico. Vamos uma peça, são 14. Que legal. Bem feito. Interessante. O que é isso? Pregos. Interessante. Viagem magnífica. É uma MC. Tá, é pior do que o que eu tô usando. Área concluída. Oh, desgraça. Bora! Boa. Vamos encontrar o Gizmo. Ou Gizmo.
He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. He made a suction device so the Mekton can use the black tar as an instant refuel. You can also use it to clear oily goo puddles, so you can pass and access hard.
Isso a gente viu lá no começo do jogo.
He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the jumbo puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. It's a little feisty and tough critter, a perfect fit for a live ammunition, if you ask him.
Contra o direito dos animais. Para personalizar o Mekton, entre nele e aperte o botão para baixo. Tá bom. Opa! Indômico. Ah, eu posso escolher qual das pernas que eu quero? Eu gostei mais dessa. Vamos lá? Mas a gente consegue andar aqui de boas, tá?
This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be. Says a monster hunter hears many things on the wind. Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes. Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make. You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care. It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss. When it comes to monsters, he mostly picks who dies. Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot. Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead. Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their lights and they keep putting up new ones. Says they keep the monsters away. He needs them closer, not farther. But enough of that, right? He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed. He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output. Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short. Thinks that it all hangs on the tree of life. When it started to fail, everything changed. Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter. Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big. There's no better place to start than a script cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes. Says it's not far at all. Fortunately for you, the scripts seem to have acclimatized themselves to the otherwise uninhabitable dead zone.
Tá bom. Ganhei mais luz. Luz mediana. Tem coisa aqui, hein?
Wait, it's the script hole-up. Place is just filled with critters.
Tá. Realmente tá cheio de bicho. Tome. Parece que dá bem mais dano do que realmente dá. Ah, mas dá pra lutar assim. Ai! Mas não, acho que não é uma boa ideia. Lutar com o Megazord é melhor. Já era. Deu cara. Morreu. Dropar alguma coisa? Eu acho que não. Pegamos, pegamos. Tem mais um aqui. Ó, desgraça. Pegamos. Aqui. E por último. Tá. Cuidado e ficar com a criatura. Pegamos mais luz. Dava pra matar a criatura, coitadinho do bichinho. Tá. Tem isso aqui. É uma arma, né? Uma pistolona. Bugsby's Gypstop. Vamos equipar. Uma pistola.
You need to line up the switches so they match.
Tá.
Just a few moves left. Make them count.
Ih, rapaz.
Bristles like the hair of one electrified.
Também
You
dano.
need to line up the switches so they match.
Tá. Esse aqui, tá certo. Esse aqui, ó. Isso. Não precisava ter mexido no meio que eu mexi. Burro!
Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework.
Podemos usar o elevador. Falta arma corpo a corpo supremo que deve estar naquela porta fechada. Ah não, tá aqui, ó. Uau. Aspirador Grumelândia. Mas de 2 mãos cortante. Pegar. Tá. Isso aqui dá... Nossa, isso aqui dá muito dano. Vou usar. Acho que dá mais dano que a arma que eu tô usando. Nossa, bem mais dano. Isso é ela mesmo.
He says that's enough scripts to sustain the Mekton's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done. That's the special weapon he made to store the scripts in the Mekton. It will be strong enough to launch them at the Jumbo Puff. Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time, it's different. The Mekton will be strong enough to do the job.
Será que? Será que? Ih, rapaz. Esse é o tal do Torresmão.
It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now. Otherwise, he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. He asks you to not even think about taking on the Jumbo Puff on foot. You'll need the Mekton to do the job. Take his word for it.
Tá bom.
There's time to improve the Mekton before you confront the Puff. There are more wreck boxes out in the dead zone with gear you should be able to equip the Mekton with on your own. It's already quite sturdy, but upgrading it will greatly improve your chances of victory.
Eu peguei os negócios e eles não aumentam o status do bagulho lá, não.
Help if he can. Remembers you as a quiet kid. Grateful you got over that. Says the Jackney tribe has worked harder than anyone to get respect. Says you should take it easy. Gizmo wants to help if he can.
Tá.
Says you should take...
Temos que derrotar o Torresmão agora.